Hi, Chef T with the Chef's Academy, making mayonnaise. That's right, good old mayonnaise. We've got vegetable oil or a neutral flavored oil. We've got a little pasteurized egg yolk. If you get the egg yolk in a box, 1 tablespoon is 1 large egg yolk. This is just about 4. Got a little kosher salt, some dried mustard, distilled vinegar, water, lemon juice, and just a pinch of cayenne. First thing I'm going to do when I'm making the mayonnaise, I need to add some air into the yolks. I do that with a whisk. A little bit of the vinegar. I'm going to add the salt, just a little pinch or 2. Some of the mustard, not a lot. And then the cayenne, you're thinking 13 grains here. I don't want to see the specks of the red from the cayenne, but I do need it to penetrate that flavor, because mayonnaise, as you'll see, is almost all fat. That's why it's delicious. So we've got the start in the bowl. I'm going to whisk until it's a little bit light and fluffy. When I'm adding the oil, the issue with adding the oil is adding too much at one time. If at any time I have more oil being added than what's actually in the bowl, it's going to what we call break. So in order to stop the break, I'm going to grab my tablespoon. I'm going to add just 1 tablespoon of the oil. I'm going to whisk it until I can no longer see that tablespoon, and then keep on adding until I get a base. When I have a good base, meaning I get more oil, the mayonnaise is forming, I can go in faster with the oil. But the crucial part to keeping the emulsion, if you will, is adding the oil a little at a time. If we're in groups of 2 making mayonnaise, I can have 1 person whisk and 1 person drizzle the oil. I don't need to continuously stir, because metal on metal, right, will give us gray mayonnaise. That is not what we're looking for. So the base I've got is looking pretty good. You can see we're getting a little bit of a ribbon. It's getting nice and thick. I've got to know from this point it will never be thinner than this. If it gets thinner, I have probably broken my mayonnaise. So I can start speeding up the process a little bit. Oil, whisk, oil, whisk. Now when I get a certain amount of oil, your mayonnaise is going to start looking like mayonnaise. It's going to get thick. If I have more oil to add, then I'm going to add a splash of water. That's going to lighten it up a little bit and thin it down, allowing me to incorporate the rest of my oil. For a mayonnaise, if you have 1 yolk, you're looking at 4 to 8 ounces of oil. I believe a lot of books will say 4 to 6 ounces. You can get up to 8 with the addition of the water. All right, now my mayonnaise is looking, you can see it's getting even thicker. The more oil I add, the more I whisk, the thicker it's going to get. So my base right now is just over 1/2 cup. So in theory, I can add 1/2 cup of oil before I worry about breaking. I'm going to about 1/4 cup intervals now, maybe a little bit less. Okay, goopy mayonnaise. pretty soon you'll see that it's getting so thick that if I keep on adding oil, it'll just look oily and greasy and not like mayonnaise. There is a difference. That's when I'm going to add either a little bit more vinegar, or maybe a touch of water, or maybe some lemon juice. The lemon juice I've not added yet. All right, we're looking really good. Probably 2 more additions here, and then I'll thin it down. So if you make mayonnaise and you find yourself stirring about 7 trillion times, you're going a little too slow with the oil. There is a such thing as going too slow. Really, you want to whisk just until that oil is incorporated. All right, that's good mayonnaise. I'll add a little lemon juice. Give that a stir. Liquid overall, whether it be distilled vinegar, lemon juice, or water, will lighten the color of the mayonnaise. Commercial mayonnaise, they do it a little bit differently than we do. We use yolks, and yolks are a good portion of the mayonnaise. That's why ours is a little bit yellow. All right, we'll call that done. And again, if I wanted a thicker mayonnaise, I would whisk a little bit more. All right, I may add a little bit more oil. But for me, grab me some potatoes, a little chicken, we're good to go. This has been Chef T with the Chef's Academy, making mayonnaise.